Hello, good morning, and welcome to today's session from Faronics on patch management. I'm Tom, I'm in the product team at Faronics. It's really great to be with you today. And if you have any questions as I go through the session, please just put them in the Zoom chat and we can pause for questions at the end of the session. The session should take around about 15 minutes without Q&A at the end. So just to set the context for today's webinar, there was recently a serious vulnerability uncovered in Log4j, which is an open source logging library used by all kinds of apps and services around the world. Most software includes some form of ability to log, and Log4j is a typical component used to achieve this. So most organizations were exposed to this vulnerability, but they were often exposed to that vulnerability for a lot longer than they needed to be, because once fixes were issued by the software vendors, they still had to be implemented. So unless the software was updated straight away, the vulnerability remained. So that's one high profile example, but there are many more examples which demonstrate why it's important to keep software fully updated across your estate. Here's just a few more recent examples, really just showing that it happens all the time. So big and small companies are finding software vulnerabilities every day, and then they're patching them. So if your computers are updated manually, often that means they won't be updated at all. And then there's a high level of risk that something bad will happen. So that's why it's important to automate your software updates for maximum security. So just a bit of background on who we are at Faronics. So we've been around for 26 years now. And in that time, we've sold more than 10 million licenses in more than 150 countries. We've got over 30,000 customers around the world, all shapes and sizes. So in that time, we have become a world leader in the field of information security. Our headquarters are in Vancouver in Canada, as well as offices in England, where I am, and we have offices in the United States of America and in Singapore. So that's where most of the product development happens, but we do also have partners all around the world who work with us. So wherever you are in the world, there's going to be someone around who can take care of you. If you're interested to know who your local representative is, please just let us know in the Q&A and we'll be happy to tell you. So that's just a bit of background on who we are at Faronics. I'm now going to demo a product for you called Faronics Cloud Deep Freeze. So this is an especially useful product for automating your Windows patches and for automating your software updates. So Faronics Cloud Deep Freeze is a unified endpoint management solution. You can do all kinds of really useful stuff that's going to save you time and increase your security. But one of them is just to automate your Windows updates. So in my policy, I'm just ticking that box, perform Windows updates. And for each category of update, I can decide if I want to install or if I'd like an approval step. So always install will just install automatically, or install if improve will prompt me to approve. And I've got lots of options around how those updates are delivered. I can defer them by a specified number of days from release. I can determine my frequency of patch scan to be 6, 12, or every 24 hours. I can force an auto reboot prior to installation if the user's logged on, although that shouldn't really be a problem very often because you can normally schedule these updates for the middle of the night. You can set a wake on LAN task to wake up your computers, deliver the updates, so that you're minimizing, you're minimizing the production impact. You can have all this happening out of hours. And if you want to download Windows updates prior to the scheduled maintenance periods, then you can do that. And you've got a restart option. Do you want to always restart or reboot if required? So that's scheduling your Windows updates, but you can do it on demand as well if you like. So you can just, on this page, install missing patches. So you can do it by update if you like. So here are my security updates. I can look at each of them, or I can just approve all or deny. You can do it by computer. So you can just, here I've selected a computer and I'm just going to install all the missing patches on that computer, just so that computer is completely up to date on Windows updates. So essentially with Windows updates, you can schedule everything, and you can also do it on demand as well, or a mixture of the two, whatever works for you. And the same for software updates. So in the policy, I've got more than 100 applications here. I'm just going to scroll down slowly so you can see everything we've got available. And you just have to select the applications that you wish to keep updated. If you have applications that you use that don't appear on this list, it's very easy to add your own. But once you've selected your applications that you want to keep up to date, it's then just a case of scheduling a maintenance period. So you'd normally say in the middle of the night, so between 12 and 1 a.m., for example, on, say, Thursday, then all that software is going to be kept up to date. You don't need to worry about it anymore. So you can set it all to happen so that you no longer need to be spending loads of time packaging up software updates. But again, you can do everything on demand if you like. So via the applications page, I can see here all my computers and which versions of which software I'm running. So for example, my web browsers, I can see Edge is up to date on that machine, but it's out of date here. So I can just select there and update, and that's just going to update Edge on that machine. And even here I can see that, for example, Opera is not installed on this machine. So it's just a case of selecting that machine, and then you can easily just install directly from the cloud. And you can see which apps have got recent updates, which apps have got failed updates. You've just got everything in one place. So software updates don't need to be a headache. Everything can be automated, or you can keep on top of it, do it on demand if you like, or a mixture of the two. We've also got a Windows Update dashboard here. So just a way of keeping on top of everything that's happening for Windows updates. You can see the estate's looking a bit vulnerable here, but you can easily, so I've got 7 vulnerable computers in red there, just had to click that, and then I can see those 7, select them all, and initiate patch scan or install missing patches directly. So the Windows Update dashboard is one way of keeping on top of what's happening. We've also got a set of reports. So we've got this application update status. So you can run a report, generate a report, and you can sort by tag, by policy, by status, and you can export that to print HTML, PDF, or CSV. You've got activity logs. So if you want to see what's failed, what's succeeded, you can sort by success and failure if you like. And then again, that report is really easy to export and use in any way you see fit. So basically, there's lots of reports and analytics on Windows updates and software updates. So you should be able to always know what's going on. It's never a guessing game. Wherever your computers are, even if you're working across multiple sites, you're going to be able to know what version you're running and easily keep everything totally up to date and not miss out on any critical updates. You can also set alerts for Windows updates. So you could get, say, a notification to your phone if a Windows update security status is marked as vulnerable, or an email or a push notification through the console. And you can get that if you've got a new patch pending approval, or if you've got a patch scan status that's outdated on any of your computers. So you can make sure, you can configure this to make sure that you're always going to be alerted when something bad happens or when something needs your attention. So we talk about one platform total control at Faronics. That is an apt motto because we do allow you total control of what's going on in your environment. The Cloud Console is really easy to use. You can get the information you need. Security is your most important consideration as an IT manager, and you can achieve that. You can achieve peace of mind with Faronics Cloud. So patch management, which is the subject of today's webinar, is really only one of a number of steps that you can take to protect yourself against threats. We've got an antivirus module within Faronics Cloud Deep Freeze and also kiosk lockdown. So if you want to lock down the functions that your users are capable of inflicting on you, then you can limit the damage really easily with kiosk mode. And then we've also got Deep Freeze itself. So Deep Freeze is a unique patented feature that allows you to restart your machines in their original state. So that is very effective last resort. Obviously, you want to avoid threats making your way into the machines in the first place by keeping your Windows updates, keeping on top of your Windows updates and keeping on top of your application updates. But if something goes wrong there and a threat does make it through, then Deep Freeze is a reboot to restore solution. So you can restart any workstation from the cloud and it will restart in its original state. So any threat will be eliminated on restart. There's lots of other things you can do with Faronics. So if there's anything else that you like the look of there, please just let us know and we can have a call and show you. We offer a free trial that you can sign up to from our website. If you sign up for the trial, you just need to create a policy and activate the functionality you need in your policy, and then install the Cloud Agent on the devices you want to manage, and then you're ready to go. So just to summarize today's webinar, if you keep your applications up to date, if you keep your Windows updates up to date, then you're really minimizing the risk posed by vulnerabilities in software. I'm just going to leave our contact details on the screen now. I can see one question in the Q&A. Can I block executable files? Yes, so you can use, we've got an anti-executable module within the product. So I'll just show you that. So if I turn on the anti-executable module, then I can block executable files from running in my environment. I can just block them all straight away, or you can spend some time auditing and moving from partial protection to full protection. And that includes ransomware prevention. So here you can see known ransomware extensions. That's a list that we add to as more ransomware becomes known. But yeah, so you can definitely block executable files and ransomware. Okay, thanks very much for your time this morning. Great to be with you today. If you have any more questions that you think of afterwards, I will just go back to our contact details there. Please drop us a line after the session. But otherwise, thank you very much and have a great day. Bye-bye.